Unleash the power of knowledge and connect with the heartbeat of the African diaspora. Download our African Diaspora News Channel app now on Google Play and Apple App Store. Stay informed with authentic and diverse perspectives, breaking news, and cultural insights. Immerse yourself in a community that celebrates unity, resilience, and progress. Experience the vibrancy of the diaspora at your fingertips. Don't miss out. Empower your perspective today. Search African Diaspora News Channel and join the conversation.
My name is Naledi Mfoloe, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to the latest edition of the African Diaspora News Channel, where we unravel the stories that shape our world and our communities. Now, a Christmas Eve celebration in East London, South Africa, has actually sparked outrage after a viral video showed a black 4-year-old boy allegedly being ignored by a white Santa Claus, while other children, specifically white children, were greeted with hugs and high fives, right? Now, the mother of the child, Gonubie, has actually since shared videos and her frustration on social media, and now the matter is making its way through the South African Human Rights Commission.
Dad, did you give me a hug? Yes, Daddy, yeah. Okay.
This incident, captured in videos shared by the mother, Gonubie Mandashe, shows a young boy in a blue soccer kit, right, trying desperately to get the attention of the Santa, right? But despite standing in front of him and even running after him, the boy was ignored. Meanwhile, the Santa figure is seen engaging with other children, lifting them up, laughing with them, and giving them high fives, right? However, when it comes to black children, there's a painful contrast. And as Gonubie Mandashe pointed out in her post, her son's repeated attempts were met with blatant disregard. Now, as a black South African myself, this incident cuts quite deep. I mean, we cannot ignore the fact that Gonubie Mandashe is right to call this what it is, a racism issue. The fact that Santa, who is supposed to embody joy and inclusivity, is treating black children like they don't exist while lavishing attention to white children is actually a glaring example of how racism operates in our daily lives. I believe it's a reminder of the systemic biases that continue to infect every corner of society, from our schools to our shopping malls, and yes, even during holiday events. Now, what's even more alarming is the response from Santa's wife when Gonubie Mandashe raised the issue with her, right? Apparently, she simply apologized for how the mother felt, not for the actions of her husband, but for how the mother perceived it, right? And I believe this is a classic deflection tactic. It's one that actually minimizes the actual harm. And a true apology, I believe, would acknowledge the actions, apologize for them, and vow to change, right? But instead, we see an attempt to invalidate the pain and discomfort that the mother and, by extension, the child experienced. I mean, we've heard this so many times before, right? The sorry, you feel that way apology that never really truly addresses the root of the issue. And this is precisely why we need systemic change and why we need real conversation about racism, even in the most seemingly innocent and joyful spaces like Christmas events. The problem is not that the Santa was busy or distracted. It's that he consciously ignored the black children, which is a behavior that speaks to deeper unconscious prejudice that need to be confronted head on. But of course, There's been a silver lining, right? In response to the incident, members of the police station and law enforcement officers came together to change how Bongiwe's son sees Santa Claus, and they organized a special visit, bringing gifts and joy to the boy dressed as Santa Claus themselves. Now,
What's happening? Thank you, Santa. Nini? Another present? What? Another present? Hi, Shelly. What about mommy?
I believe this act of kindness is heartwarming. And it shows that despite the negativity of one person's actions, there are still good people out there who are trying to right the wrongs and spread positivity. But I believe we have to ask ourselves, right? Why did this have to happen in the first place? Why did Black children still face these microaggressions, even in spaces meant for joy and innocence? Santa Claus, the embodiment of Christmas cheer, is a symbol of inclusivity, but this incident is a clear reminder that not everyone feels included. And at the heart of this controversy is a much larger conversation about race in South Africa, which I believe is a conversation we often avoid or downplay. And we need to have an honest conversation and discussion about racism in our society, and not during major events like Christmas, but every single day. It's a systemic issue deeply rooted in our history, and it shows up in a way we treat each other. It's not enough to say I'm not racist. I believe we need to actively challenge and change the way we behave, especially when we think no one is watching. And this incident in East London is not just about a single Santa ignoring a child. It's about how the larger system of racial inequality continues to perpetuate these kinds of moments. And while the law and the South African Human Rights Commission may investigate, we as a society need to look at ourselves and ask, what can we do to change this? How do we ensure that every child, black or white, rich or poor, feels seen, heard, and valued? So, as we move forward into 2025, let's make a commitment to not just talk about racism, but to actively address it in every corner of our society. What are your thoughts on this video? Please, let's continue the conversation in the comment section. We really want to hear from you. And while you're at it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs